This is your boy DJ Leon D. I'm back. And I'm here to talk about Panama City, Florida. Panama City, Florida. I'm not here to talk about Panama City, Panama. Nope. Just the one in Florida. Let me tell you about Panama City, Florida. It's not a place you want to stop to eat if you want something that's local, something that's different, and you want some Floridian food. You ain't going to find it. You're just not going to find it. It is what it is. Now, let me tell you, I guess the question I should ask you is, have you ever been to a college city, but there's no college? That's how Panama City, Florida, that's what it reminds me of. You know, they want to say we got a lot of different foods. No, they got a lot of different chains. They got every chain restaurant in the world. It really is a beach town. It's not a town that someone passing through should stop and eat at. Keep going to Pensacola or Jacksonville or Tampa, Miami, wherever you're going. But now, if you're a kid, it's all right. If you're a kid, it's all right. But the food there there's nothing there. I mean, you got every chain restaurant in America right there as you pass through. And you know what? Keep passing through. Because, see, I went to the airport. I flew into the airport, and I was hungry, and I decided I was going to find me some food to eat. And I'm all about trying out different foods in different areas of the city or different countries or different cities in different countries. I like to try local foods out. I like mom and pop restaurants and that kind of stuff. They had a lot of those, but all those was really looked like they were catering for the beach crowd. You know, where everything is seafood on the water. They got a great view, but they all got the same thing. There was nothing unique, from restaurant. I went to 8 different restaurants in 4 days. There was nothing unique about any of them. I mean, other than the name, I can get the same food somewhere else. I mean, there's nothing great, nothing unique, nothing that made me just say, I got to stop here. I want to eat here. This has got a cool name. Oh, you know what? Look what they serve. And you people who live on Yelp, don't believe Yelp. Don't believe it. I think that most of the time it's the employees that are writing the reviews to keep their jobs. But Panama City, Florida, is just not a place that an adult wants to eat at. If you want to get something quick and go to the beach, that's fine because they have everything is fried. That's fine. So they don't cater to the locals as much as they cater to the tourist. It's a tourist city. So I don't know. I guess the locals eat at home because I talk to people who live in the area from the military bases and from other places. They eat in the area and they just say, we don't eat out. But, if you're a tourist or a beach goer or whatever, you may be the one that I know you're the one they're catering to, but you may be the one that thinks the food's great because your options are limited. It's not like you got a full-size kitchen in a hotel room, even though some of them do offer that very rarely because those are called extended stays, which are called ghettos because the people that stayed forever are generally nasty anyway. But my whole point was, you read about these cities that tourists want to go to, like Destin and Panama City Beach, or, you read about these kind of places. And when you go to them yourself, you're like, why in the hell they want to come here? Why these places get 4.5 stars? You start asking yourself all kind of questions and stuff. And that's when you say, you know what? I'm going to write a review. I'm going to be honest about it. I'm always honest in my reviews. I'm always very, very honest. But, now don't get me wrong. The beach is pretty, but you can't eat the white sand, or at least you shouldn't. Some of y'all got some little kids on the spectrum, and I know y'all eat the white sands. But it just turned me off when I get my expectations up, and it just totally blown out of the water. It just turned my expectations totally off. So saying that, they got really, they don't even have good Southern food. That's I don't know how many people in Panama City, Florida, that really are from Panama City. I think most of them are retired military. Most of them are beach goers. But like I said, it's a college city without a college. Now, that's kind of messed up. when you everything you see is catered for college kids, and there's no college. And I know that people go there from other colleges around the South, the North or wherever. I know they all go there, but they all must be just as disappointed as I am. Not necessarily the college kids, but their parents who go with them, or whoever the adult is in that group, because it's not for adults. You got a few steakhouses, but nobody wants to eat that all the time. Nobody wants to eat that all the time either. But now, if you want some fast food, go there in Panama City, Florida. You'll be happy. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you how bad it was. I went there, and like I said, I ate 8 times. I actually ate about 12 times, but I ended up going to Cracker Barrel 4 times. So Cracker Barrel had as close as it came to a meal with vegetables and with other stuff as you can get. Cracker Barrel was, like I said, it stood out. Because other places are stuff that Jimmy John's, 90 of those, Subways, 200 of those, Starbucks, 50 of those. I could get that stuff anywhere. And those places don't serve food. They serve quick snacks. Some people may say, oh, that's food. No, Jimmy John is not food. Anytime your whole meal is inside bread and it's not a Popeye, it's not food. No. But at the same time, McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and all that kind of crap, Chipotle was everywhere. They on every other block, it seems. And then you got them across the street from one another on the main street. So if you go into the airport in Panama City, it's called the Northwest Florida Airport. Eat before you get there, or eat at your destination, and hopefully it's not there. Now, Panama City, Florida, the food was not bad. It was cheap. Like I said, everything's fried. Everything is quick. It's not made to have a conversation, with a friend or spouse or, relative. It's not made for you to sit down there and enjoy a good meal. It's made for you to get the meal, eat it quick, and run the hell out of there. And pass the bathroom when you're going, on your way leaving. Yeah, it's just not what a lot of people are gonna think when they go there. Now, kids, 21, 22, food don't really bother them. Their bodies can handle anything. They don't really have a long-term plan. If they live for tomorrow or they live to see tomorrow, they're just happy as hell. Where when you get in your 50s and 60s, you're trying to think about how to best take care of my body. Well, you can exercise all you want, but what you put in your body is also important. But the people in Panama City, Florida, doesn't know that. They don't know that at all. They just think your body just another garbage can like the young kids' bodies are. So there's not a lot to say good about eating in Panama City. There's not a lot to say good as far as eating. There's a lot of good there, don't get me wrong. It is a booming vacation destination. But as far as food goes, go to Sam's Club and just figure a way to cook your own food. And like I said, they didn't have very good Southern food. I didn't even see any really Southern food. And I didn't see anything outside of fast food, fried food. I didn't see any Southern food at all. There was no restaurants that said, we are, Mama Kim's Soul Kitchen. I didn't see none of that. No, not at all. I didn't see any asparagus or broccoli on the menu. Nope, not at all. And I guess that's just the way they roll there, But it's not like you and I would think. I didn't expect diversity because it's a small city. Maybe 100,000 people at the most. So I don't expect diversity. I just expected something other than fast food. So when I say diversity, I'm talking about different cultures, different nationalities, different countries. No, I didn't expect that at all. So my expectation was not high in that category. My expectation is that I would be able to go to a place and eat and not be rushed out in 30 minutes, because that's all it takes, because it takes you a minute. You order your food at 1 o'clock. At 1:02, your food's on your table. No one cooked that after you ordered. They cooked that before you ordered. That's why it was ready when you ordered. So it's a big difference when you go to these certain cities. The food was already there. And don't get me wrong, I know that 90% of the restaurants do that nowadays. And that's the reason I'm not big in tipping. Unless you go out of your way or do something that you don't normally do, or do something that, for me, especially for me. Because, people want these huge tips, and the food's already made. It's already cooked. You don't have a chef in the kitchen. No, what you have is a cook in the kitchen who just put it under a burner and they roll on. So saying that, if you were in Pensacola, I would tell you to see how much gas you got and how far can you go, and go to that place and eat. Not in Panama City. If you're in Panama City, Pensacola is not much better, but it's better. I almost felt like eating a hot dog in Sam's Club and calling it a meal for the day. Matter of fact, I should have bought 2 of them, because I didn't realize when I left Sam's Club buying ice, I didn't realize that was the best meal I was going to see all day was in Sam's Club. I didn't realize that the best meal I was going to see was that hot dog for $1.50 or whatever it is, $1.99. I think Costco's $1.50. There's no Costco in the area. So I end up going back to Sam's Club and buying food and cooking my own food in a hotel. And then I cook the next day, at a friend's place. And it's kind of embarrassing when you show up with a suitcase and food to cook, because you just can't find it on the main streets of Panama City. Yeah, I couldn't find anything that made me say, I want to stop here. Even out in the woods, even out in the boondocks. Hell, gas station food looked better than some places I seen on the strip in Panama City. And I don't eat at gas stations. I don't care how much you like Buc-ee's. I don't eat at gas stations. It is what it is. Because, it's kind of like you don't piss where you drink, and you don't drink where you piss. It's just one of those kind of things. And in Pensacola, I kind of felt that way a lot. So my whole thing to you is that if you ever feel like you're in a college city and it does not have a college, now you know what to expect. They are catering, or they're set up for college kids, not for grown-ass adults who wants a full meal. They don't cater to you and stuff, So saying that, what I would highly recommend is simple. Fly into the airport and fly the hell out as quick as you can. Unless you're there on vacation, then your appetite is going to change, your expectations are going to change, and you would not be disappointed come lunch or dinner time, or maybe even breakfast. I didn't see a lot of places that had a great breakfast, even listed or even on the doors or windows and bragged about it. Normally, they love Waffle House. I forgot about that. So that's why I didn't see a lot of places about breakfast, because Waffle House probably get about 80% of the clientele, because Waffle House is still cheap, and still nasty. I get cousins who try and convince me that Waffle House has changed. But when I went past a couple of them in Panama City, they ain't changed. They might have a little brighter yellow than the guy next to the next Waffle House who got a darker yellow on the sign, on the signage. But it's just in this video, I'm gonna show you my drive through Panama City so you can see what I'm talking about. Like I said, there were chains everywhere. There was not a lot of originality at all, but you're gonna see it, and then you can tell me what you think. And I know a lot of you eating at these places and stuff. I just can't make my car turn left or right to go to these places. That just doesn't look good at all. I can't do it. Some of you got no problem because you eat any and everything, and nothing wrong with that if you eat that way. I just don't eat that way. I like for dinner to be a sit down, waitress come over and you order food, or even if it's Japanese or something like that, I'm fine with that. Now they got a lot of Chinese places there. They got a lot of pizza joints too. They got a lot of those because that's what young kids want to eat. That's what young kids love grease. They like grease in the South in general, but young kids love grease, and you give them a lot of grease, they all right. But for me, I have a different palate. I like to think that my palate has been refined over the past 60 years since birth. But some people, their palates are the exact same they were at birth. You know, they eat the same thing. I got a friend, he eats pizza at least 3 times a week. I don't know how he do it. He might well just eat cheese and bread every damn day and throw some meat in every now and then. But at the same time, I want to tell you that, if you got an option, just don't make Panama City, Florida, one of those options, because you're going to have problems, lots of problems. If you expect something different. And do not expect to get dinner late at night. No. These places, they just didn't look, appealing to eat at late at night. So this is your boy DJ Leon D saying, that's my take on Panama City, Florida. Peace.